Yeah.
What are we going to do then Saturday afternoon?
Okay.
Are you sitting up, Hannah? You're a clever little girl.
Still possibilities for Mars. And they're throwing themselves at the ball there.
It was after my 40th birthday, about the April. My trousers at work started to feel quite tight around my thighs, and I was thinking, oh, I must have put a bit of weight on, they're getting a bit tight. And they were just swollen up, and I went to the doctor about it to start with, and she said, oh, you've probably overdone it in the gym. And then Dr. Pickering said, right, we need to start you on dialysis. And in that time, in that year as well, my dad died in the August. A line put into my neck which goes through to your artery, and it has 2 tubes at the end, and you have dialysis with that to sort your body out, because my body was just breaking down because I was constantly sick, felt awful, lost loads of weight, so I had to start dialysis. So it's got a piece on it, which a dialyzer, which they call the kidney, and through the kidney goes up your blood, and it gets rid of all the toxins and all the crap that the kidneys would normally get rid of. Then they got my fistula ready, which was in my arm, where they joined the artery and the vein together. Then I decided I wanted to do it at home.
And I've got that arm bit, that's it.
Then you bow. It's very
Now we do
So I started my training at that unit so that I could have dialysis at home. So that's put in a special water supply and a water pump and all the machinery. I can do it when I want to, and I used to do, what you do now, about 2.5 hours, about 5 times a week. 12 hours a week, that's what you have to do. And then the main thing I'd say was the holidays, because you can't just up sticks and go on holiday. You've got to plan it all, because if you're going away, I've got to plan to go to a dialysis unit, find somewhere on holiday which is near the dialysis unit. Weekends is sort of the time I can go, but as I've got worse with the kidney failure and the heart problems, I don't seem to be able to go a weekend now before I start feeling rough. Yeah, it's doing the job of the kidney. I mean, thank God there is the machines.
Well, right, it's nice to see you all here, and we hope you're all enjoying yourselves, because if you are, it's a bit late to welcome you officially, but we're very pleased to see you all here, because some have come quite a way, some even from Holland, so there you are. It's quite a way to make the effort, and we appreciate you all coming along.
In the morning, did Mum ring me again? No, she didn't ring me. We were going on holiday, and then Nick rang me and said, Jane, you need to come round. It's not good. So I went madly going round there in the car, real panicking, and I was there too late, and he was already dead.
2 lots of weddings.
And he was just lying in the lounge floor.
There's been 2 hen nights. There's been 2 stag nights. I dread to think what's going to happen on the honeymoon.
Because we were about to go on holiday. Do you remember? And I didn't go because I stayed at home with Mum. No, you were too young. Dad took you both on your own. You used to spend every evening doing your usual things. Jim used to collect all these little things you could get and put on you had like a band thing, you used to collect all the badges and... Yeah, but Dad did take you for a few days. I don't think you went the whole week, but he did take you, and then I stayed at home looking after Mum. Well, obviously still having dialysis, but that was at the unit.
So that must have been pretty...
Yeah, that was horrible. Worst year of my life, really, so far. Yeah. Dad didn't really know anything about how bad I got, if you know what I mean. But it's funny because whether it was my mechanism of coping, I mean, I was really upset, but then I almost couldn't go there. It was weird. Like, I went to the funeral, obviously I was upset and all that sort of thing, and it was so weird after the funeral at home, because like Mary and Harold were there and my cousins and everybody, and it was like there's someone missing. It was really odd. I thought, this is weird, where is he? He's not here, and everything. It was horrible. But since that, it's almost like my brain shut it out because I couldn't cope with it. And I sometimes find it hard to go back now to think about it because it's too painful. Like, I don't like going to the church to take anything because I don't want to go there because it makes me suddenly feel so upset. So I sort of avoid it, which is awful. But when I had counselling as well, when I had the dialysis, and they said it's like your body's grieving for your loss of your kidney. So maybe I was grieving and I couldn't grieve for Dad as well. It was like too much.
I won't repeat what Jane said earlier on this morning. Or maybe I will.
Yeah, go on,
Well, years later, more recently, there was all the hassle with Mum and looking after her and her getting worse. And that was very difficult with having to go to dialysis still. But it was just so time consuming and difficult because Nick was working, so it generally was me she'd ring and want me to go over and all that sort of thing. Because I didn't feel very well. It was hard. Yeah, it was hard juggling both of it. He loved it when we used to go round. He did used to like it. No, he was a nice sort of just nice gentleman, really. Nice, kind. Didn't really ever argue. Fairly happy all the time.
Take your finger off the lens.
You're covering the lens up. Oh, hello.
This is where we're going to have...
Hello. Oh.
Yeah, I went to see the clairvoyant. She said he's there. He's saying not to get upset and don't worry about things. But yeah, I just wished I'd had a chance to sort of look after him a bit more because when he was ill, it was the afternoon we went round, three of us, after school, or it might have been in the holidays, and he got this chesty cough. Mum said she told me to go to the doctors, and he did go to the doctors and he had some antibiotics and he said he's got a bit of fluid on his lungs. So he was on those, I think, when we went round, and he was sitting there sort of trying to play with you and Hannah. And yeah, it was a lovely sort of afternoon. The next day Mum rang and said your dad's worse. He's really chesty, can't get his breath. I went round again, but because I was ill and I wished I'd been stronger about it really. Because I went round and he was having a job to breathe, so I was giving him a bag to try and get him to breathe in this bag. So they say that helps regulate your breathing, and said someone needs to come out. And he was quite an elderly doctor, and he said, I'll give him some water tablets, that'll clear the fluid, and he said he'll be right as rain the next day. Well, the next day he died.
Was this him that had the chest or heart problem?
Yes.
Okay, so again, he's acknowledging that. Was he the male that was thinning on the top or lost his hair on the top? Yeah. Okay. He's telling me that he's got his hair back again and he's really pleased about that. So yeah. Who was looking at the photographs recently? Who's been going through photographs, old photographs? Okay, so please pass on to Mum that Dad was with her. Please pass on the love from the world of spirit to your mum and also from to your husband's side of the family. And thank you very much for being here. He's a nice man. Hard work though, but he's a nice man.
I've been on the list 16 years, as long as I've been dialysing, 17 years. And they said I'm one that's been waiting the longest. He asked me if I got any family. So I asked Nick, because when I was first ill, Nick said, oh, you can have one of my kidneys, my brother. So he went and had a test done to see if because he said, yes, I will have a test done, but it came back that he wasn't a match. And Hannah was tested, Dad was tested, my friend Jane tried, but it was the antibodies and tissue match which are the issue. So Hannah was tested, she's the same blood group, which is O negative, which is a fairly common blood group, it's not an unusual group, but she wasn't a good enough match. I can still say I can, oh no. yeah, what they suggested was doing this pairing scheme where Hannah would give somebody else her kidney, and then they would have someone who could give me their kidney, like their part, like swapsies, like with different couples. You could have like 6 couples in the group, all swapping kidneys over. And that all went through, and she had all the tests done to carry on and have a go. And then I got my heart problem, so it all had to stop, and we had COVID, so it all just stopped. But Hannah was just sort of forgotten, really.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Well, either I wouldn't, because
That's what I mean. So
I suppose it's because I wouldn't want you to go ahead and do that, either of you, really, and then you have kidney problems, and then you've only got 1 kidney, and then, you know, there's more chance of you having kidney failure. But then the chances of that, I don't know. I mean, Hannah didn't even enter her head. She said, well, I don't see why, you know, everybody lives. Some people are born with 1 kidney, Mum. I said, yes, I know that. You know, and she sort of says, I can't see why it's a problem. And I said, well, it isn't now. And I wouldn't want either of you to then have a bad life or be ill because of me.
Oh, Hannah, these are dressed up fridge magnets. Yeah. To go on the fridge.
It's a slow sort of illness, isn't it, really? It's not like you just deteriorate, I suppose. Because now I had early retirement and all my friends were still at work, although that's changing. I felt like I was missing out.
It's trials, it's humours. But instead of her long road having no turning, it's had a bridge at the end. Family life is very important, particularly today. I think we can all help each other in many ways along the way, and you'll have your worries and you'll have your heartaches too, as we all do. There's really very little else to say. In the idiom of the 90s, I'll just say, have a nice life, missing you already.